Before the Right Honourable Speaker comes in, I thought we should go through the program. When the Speaker arrives, we'll go through the opening formalities. They will be brief. There are 3 speeches. The first one to be made by Ms. Nanise Sona from the UNDP, representing the UNDP resident representative. Those will be followed by the Deputy Clerk of Parliament responsible for procedural services, Mr. Joseph Manzi. And then finally, the Right Honourable Speaker will make the opening remarks, after which we'll go for a group photograph downstairs at the lobby. When we return from the group photograph, we'll go into the first session. Today's sessions will comprise of all the committees, starting with the first session on the parliamentary oversight across the budget cycle and public debt, with a focus on best practices. This will be presented by the presenter is not here, but that will be our first program. The second session will be presented by our colleagues from ECAMA, and this will focus on the current public debt situation in Malawi, as well as the role of civil society. Honourable members, the Speaker is about to walk in. Good afternoon. Welcome to the opening of this very important workshop. But before we begin, may I request Honourable Kaliati to open this meeting with a prayer.
In this meeting from now up to the end. Bless each and every member of Parliament who is here and support him, her, and give him or her what is looking forward for your services to work according to your will. We've asked this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much, Honourable Kaliati. The Right Honourable Speaker, Samia Suleiman. The UNDP Portfolio Manager, Ms. Nanise Sona. The Deputy Clerk of Parliament responsible for procedural services, Mr. Joseph Manzi. Chairpersons of these committees, Budget Committee, the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations and State Enterprises, and the Committee on Public Accounts, and all your members. Representatives from ECAMA and MEGIN, if they are here. Members of staff of Parliament, the media, if they are here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to stand before you, honourable members, as we convene this very important day-and-a-half workshop. This workshop is a follow-up to previous training sessions that we've been having, but for this particular one, it's focusing on oversight committees. The goal of this workshop, honourable members, Right Honourable Speaker, is to move from the basic training that the members have been having to deep practical learning with a focus on the full budget cycle, the national debt and risks that are existing, and as well as how they can watch over state companies, with the end of protecting public money. We hope, Honourable Speaker, that by the end of this workshop, the committees will have the right tools to ensure every kwacha of public money is used wisely. So before you, there are members of three committees, as I indicated. As such, it is my honor right now to invite the UNDP portfolio manager to make her remarks. After that, I'll invite Mr. Joseph Manzi to ask you, Right Honorable Speaker, to make your remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MC. Right Honorable Speaker, Samir Ghaffar Suleiman, the Honorable Chairpersons of the Budget and Finance Committee, the Public Accounts Committee, the Committee on Commission, Statutory Corporation and State Enterprises, the Honorable Members of these three committees, the Deputy Clerk responsible for Procedural Services, Mr. Joseph Manzi, the distinguished facilitators and partners, the Parliament staff, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the UNDP resident representative, who was here earlier, but unfortunately had to leave to catch a flight, I will be making some opening remarks on her behalf and also on UNDP. As UNDP, it is a privilege for UNDP to join you at this opening of this important induction workshop, particularly for the Parliamentary Oversight Committees. I would like to thank the leadership of the Parliament, the Right Honourable Speaker, the chairs of the committees, of the three parliamentary committees that are here today, the members of the committee, and the Clerk of Parliament and her team for your commitment to strengthening oversight, accountability, and fiscal discipline in Malawi. It is a great honor for UNDP to be collaborating with you in this critical area. This workshop builds on earlier induction sessions that were delivered to the key committees, and today we deepen that engagement by focusing on the full budget cycle, from the formulation and the approval to execution and post-expenditure oversight, as well as the public debt, the physical risks, domestic resource mobilization, and the oversight of state-owned enterprises. These are not abstract technical issues. They go to the heart of Malawi's development agenda, its sustainability, and the trajectory that it can take. Honorable members, we meet at a time when Parliament is operating in an environment of increasing fiscal pressure. Malawi faces significant debt challenges, limited physical space, the growing demand on public resources. In such context, strong and well-coordinated Parliament oversight is not an optional, it is essential. It safeguards public funds, it promotes fiscal discipline, and also strengthens trust in the institution. Now, the parliamentary committees play a central role in ensuring that accountability across the budget cycle. The Budget and the Finance Committee, the Public Accounts Committee, the Committees on Commission and Statutory Corporation and State Enterprises each have distinct mandate. Yet these mandates are complementary. When exercised in a coordinated and a timely manner, they create comprehensive oversight framework that strengthens accountability at every stage of the budget process. In the current fiscal environment, public debt sustainability, revenue performance, fiscal risk, contingent liabilities from SEOs are central to macroeconomic stabilities, investor confidence, and ultimately to the delivery of essential services to Malawi. Effective Parliament oversight is therefore just not a simple constitutional mandate, it is a development imperative. For example, financing for development requires domestically generated resources and external financing, which could be debt creating. Thus, managing a nation's debt and its development need calls for delicate balancing act that calls for vigilant oversight. On one hand, a country must ensure that debt remains sustainable. On the other hand, it must secure the financing needed to drive forward its development initiative. The tension between development and debt is a critical nexus that the honorable members must navigate with wisdom and foresight. Across Africa and globally, we see that countries strengthen parliamentary engagement in the budget early in the budget process tend to deliver better fiscal outcome. When parliaments scrutinize macro fiscal assumption, borrowing plans, guarantees, and revenue projections before decisions are finalized, they help prevent risk rather than merely reacting to them. Honorable members, this is why the workshop places emphasis on oversight across the entire budget cycle, not only after expenditures have occurred, but also at the formulation and approval stages, where many critical fiscal decisions are made. We will also be examining public debt oversight and the management of fiscal risk, recognizing that debt implication for macroeconomic stability and service delivery. Across the budget cycle, oversight across the budget cycle is most effective when committees operate in a complementary and coordinated manner. The Budget Committee scrutinizes macro-fiscal framework and debt assumption. The Committee on Commission, Statutory Cooperation and State Enterprises examines the fiscal risk and SOE liabilities. The Public Accounts Accountability role through engagement with the Auditor General reports and monitoring for corrective actions. Together, these roles form a system of checks and balance that safeguard public resources. This workshop also places emphasis on domestic resource mobilization, not only as a revenue issue, but also as a governance issue. Transparency, fairness, enforcement, oversight of tax expenditure, and addressing revenue leakages are all central to restoring physical space. Strong oversight of revenue is as important as oversight of expenditure. Equally important is the recognition that physical risks often emerge outside the formal budget through SOEs, contingent liabilities, guarantees, debt and debt transparency gap. Parliament's ability to interrogate these physical risk reports, questions the assumption, and demands disclosure is essential to preventing the accumulation of hidden liabilities. Throughout these sessions, we will draw on international and best practices from Africa to also illustrate what effective oversight looks like in practice. These experiences are not intended to be copied mechanically, but to inform and strengthen Malawi's own institutional and legal framework. What is particularly valuable about this workshop is the practical orientation. The group exercises on effective questioning, the examination of the physical risk reports, and the committee-specific breakout sessions are designed to move from theory to tool, from knowledge to action. UNDP's support in the area is grounded in our broader governance mandate, strengthening institutions, enhancing accountability, supporting democratic processes that deliver tangible development outcomes. Strong parliamentary oversight contributes directly to macroeconomic stability. It improves public trust and sustainable development. Honorable members, let me also emphasize that effective oversight is not adversarial. It is constructive. It strengthens the executive's performance, improves policy coherence, and enhances public confidence in institutions. As we proceed over the next day and a half, I encourage open dialogue, candid discussion, and practical problem solving. The comparative experience from across Africa, the insights from civil society organizations, and technical expertise of our facilitators will provide a valuable opportunity to reflect on how Malawi can further strengthen its oversight architecture. Honorable members, at its core, parliamentary oversight protects the public interest. It ensures that borrowing today does not compromise tomorrow, that revenue is collected fairly and used effectively, and that public institutions operate transparently and responsibly. UNDP remains committed to supporting Parliament in this important role. I wish you a productive deliberation and look forward to the outcomes of your discussion. Zikomo Kwambiri.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nanisi Son, for those remarks. Right Honourable Speaker, the UNDP is a long-time partner of Parliament when it comes to trainings, workshops, and even orientations. May I now invite Mr. Joseph Manzi to come and make his remarks, and then invite the Speaker to open this workshop.
Thank you so much, the Director of Ceremonies. Our guest of honor, the Right Honorable Samia Gafar Suleiman, MP, who is the Speaker of the National Assembly. Chairpersons of the parliamentary committees that are attending this workshop. These are 3 committees. Committee on Budget and Finance, Public Accounts, and the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations, and State Enterprises. And all honorable members for these 3 committees I've mentioned that are here present. The representative of UNDP, Nanise Saune, who is the portfolio manager responsible for governance in UNDP, our distinguished facilitators and the resource persons that are going to take us through these workshops, colleagues from Parliament, the invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I, on behalf of the Clerk of Parliament, who is unable to personally be with us this afternoon, because of other official engagement, I wish to welcome you, Right Honourable Speaker, as a guest of honor for this workshop, and all the honourable members are here present for this workshop. From the outset, allow me also to express our appreciation to UNDP for the support that they have rendered for this, and indeed because of the long time partnership that we have had with Parliament. So thank you so much, UNDP, right away from the beginning. The Right Honourable Speaker, the three committees that are attending this workshop this afternoon, they perform a very critical role in as far as Parliament's oversight architecture is concerned, as these three committees directly safeguard the integrity of the public finance management, institutional accountability, and the performance of the public entities. This orientation workshop, Right Honourable Speaker, is coming at a very opportune time for Parliament, especially looking at the role of Parliament as it continues to strengthen its oversight role in line with the constitutional expectations and public demand for transparency. And the effectiveness of committees depends not only on statutory mandates, but also on the shared understanding of the roles, procedures, tools, and emerging oversight challenges. This workshop, therefore, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, it has been designed to provide the honourable members with a common foundation covering committee mandates, interinstitutional collaboration, scrutiny of public resources, and practical approaches to evidence-based oversight. Our guest of honor, honourable members, the support from UNDP program, as I did mention, it has to be acknowledged through and through, because they have been long outstanding partners in as far as supporting the development activities for Parliament is concerned. Therefore, for the 1.5 days that this workshop has been designed, honourable members will engage with the experienced facilitators. We have made in a way that the facilitators that are going to take you through the topics that have been aligned for this workshop are really experienced. So they all share their experiences across these three committees and reflect on the practical strategies for strengthening the oversight outcomes. Therefore, I would wish to encourage you, honourable members, to make sure that you engage very openly and make sure that you ask questions wherever you feel that questions that are necessary for purposes of making sure that you get as much information as you would wish, for purposes of making sure that it should improve your oversight function, but as well as, parliamentary debates. Right, Honorable Speaker, my job is to really invite you to officially open this workshop. Therefore, at this juncture, I wish to invite you, Right Honorable Speaker, to come over to deliver your opening remarks as a way of officially opening this orientation workshop for accountability committees. Right Honorable Speaker, sir.
Good afternoon. Honourable members, how are you? I see my queen there looking beautiful, as always. Nice. Mr. Joseph Manzi, Deputy Clerk of Parliament, Chairpersons, honourable members of the Budget and Finance Committee, the Public Accounts Committee, and the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations, and State Enterprises. Representative of the United Nations Development Programme, Madam Anise Saumi, facilitators, invited guests, our Secretariat, media, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to officially open the orientation workshop for accountability committees and to welcome you all to this important engagement. Let me begin by acknowledging with sincere appreciation the continued support of the UNDP program to the Parliament of Malawi. This partnership has remained instrumental in strengthening parliamentary oversight, accountability, and democratic governance. Honourable members, the three committees represented here, Budget and Finance, Public Accounts, and Commissions, Statutory Corporations, and State Enterprises, are the custodians of public accountability. Through your work, Parliament assures the people of Malawi that public resources are raised, allocated, spent, and accounted for in a transparent, lawful, and efficient manner. As rightly indicated by Justice Louis Brandeis, I quote, "Public office is a public trust," end quote. We must retain the public trust. The Constitution vests Parliament with the responsibility to exercise oversight over the executive and public institutions. However, effective oversight does not happen by default. It requires clarity of mandate, technical understanding, independence of thought, and collaboration with key accountability institutions such as the National Audit Office, controlling officers, and the law enforcement agencies. It also requires members who are confident in interrogating complex financial and performance information while remaining guided by objectivity, professionalism, and national interest. This orientation workshop is therefore not a mere formality. It is a deliberate investment in strengthening the capacity, coherence, and credibility of parliamentary oversight. I expect that discussions over the next 2 years will help members do better, appreciate the distinct yet complementary roles of these committees, improve coordination among them, and sharpen their ability to translate findings and recommendations into tangible accountability outcomes. Honourable members, allow me to emphasize that the effectiveness of these accountability committees is often measured not by the number of reports produced, but by the impact of their recommendations, recovery of public funds, systems are improved, and institutions are compelled to act responsibly. As such, I urge you all to approach your committee work with diligence, non-partisanship, and courage, mindful that the public looks to Parliament as the ultimate guardian of their interests. I also wish to underscore the importance of respecting parliamentary procedures, timelines, and ethical standards in the conduct of committee business. Strong oversight must always be anchored in fairness, evidence, and respect for the rule of law. In conclusion, I encourage all honourable members to fully engage with the program, share experiences openly, and apply the knowledge gained here to your committee's work. Let the workshop mark a renewed commitment to robust, results-oriented oversight that strengthens public confidence in Parliament. Madam, before I conclude, I wanted to say this, that just 4 days ago, you paid me a courtesy call, and Fanel was there as well. And I emphasized the need for these workshops and refresher courses on our members of Parliament. I should commend you and thank you that within a week we are meeting again here, filling up the gap that we as Parliament need so much. I did mention that as Speaker, my vision for my tenure is to make sure that Parliament gains independence, full independence, not only on paper, but in action, full financial independence. That's my goal. And I'm glad that it's part of the subjects I was going through the program. And if it's, you make it, make sure you make it there. I would love our members to understand that Parliament needs full autonomy. My second vision, as I said to you in that meeting, is to make sure that we strengthen our oversight work. We should conduct inquiries, we should conduct investigations, and I said to you that during my term, there will be no inquiry, there will be no investigation that will go without producing a report. And we are going to make sure that all recommendations are followed and implemented. So today, opening this workshop, mainly focusing on oversight, is something that is dear to me. And I would like our members to be fully equipped with the knowledge on how we can perform our oversight. When we say oversight, we are not targeting anybody. We are targeting public resources, how they are being used. So it's not political, but doing our work that our people are expecting from us. As for my colleagues, the chairs, I see Honorable Sosten Gwengwe taking notes. I see my brother Baba. You have a huge task. And I challenge you guys, honorable members, that let's take this role seriously. Let's prove to Malawians that we can protect their hard-earned resources and make sure that their money is going into good use. It is our responsibility collectively that we should do. As your speaker, I'll stand behind you, and I promise to be there. If it's to do with oversight, we have a partner here, UNDP, who is ready to fill up that gap. Why do we need financial autonomy? Some of us know already that for us to conduct a good oversight role, we need to be financially independent. We cannot keep on going to the same people that we want to conduct oversight on and ask them for resources to conduct that oversight. It can never work. As long as we are begging them to give us money to go and do a business, an oversight business on them, we are always going to have problems. And it is my wish that one day we will sit here and clap hands that finally we have gained our financial autonomy and Parliament is free to do oversight role without having to beg for resources from executive. So thank you, UNDP. You're coming in to fill that gap. And we feel good to work with you, and we'll always be there for you. It is now my honor and privilege, honor members, to declare this orientation workshop officially opened. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for those remarks. Right Honourable Speaker, our partner from the UNDP, as represented by Ms. Sona, the Deputy Clerk of Parliament, Mr. Joseph Manzi, Honourable Chairpersons, and your committee members, members of staff that are here present. This marks the end of the opening formalities for this workshop. As I indicated earlier, we will have a group photograph outside. The place has been set up downstairs by the lobby. The chairs are already set. As such, I will now invite honorable members to start going downstairs so that we can take a seat, and then I will invite the high table to follow afterwards. Right, honorable members, we are ready outside.